gets old. So let's give him another round of applause.
Thank you.
So guys, my job is easy. I mean, really, when it comes down to this business, this is what it's all about. Does that make sense? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Awesome. If you can do this, the money's gonna come. So now let's talk about some money. Is it okay to talk about some money in this room?
Yes.
Raise your hand if it's okay.
It's okay.
Because some places around the world I travel to, people say like, you know, like money's a taboo. Money's not a taboo, guys. I'm telling you right now. The only people that complain about money are people that don't have any. Right?
Amen.
You know, my story is really simple. I came in this company about 14 years ago, and I'm a retired police detective. At the time, I was still working. Right? Anybody here work? Who's still working? Raise your hand. Is that Brian? What's your first name? Jerry. Jerry, okay, you look like someone I know. Okay. We all look like brothers, though, it's okay. So, you know, I got introduced to the network marketing industry about 20-something years ago. I've only been involved in 4 companies in my entire career. And when I first got involved in the industry, I would always, you know, when you first heard about it, we'd all hear about that pyramid thing, right? Pyramid doesn't work, right? And that's just because of lack of knowledge. But once I understood the power of the industry, I jumped on board. And again, my first 3 companies did very well, made money, but I realized that a lot of people weren't generating the type of income they wanted because in a lot of these MLM type companies, the commissions are very small. And when you see this compensation plan, I'm going to run through it real quick because I would like to do a little bit of training a little bit later on. But this is a different beast right here. When I joined this company, I didn't forget and again, I'm going to talk about money. What I make, what you make, it all varies, right? There are people in this company that make over $100,000 a month, right? There are people in this company that make $10,000 a month. There are people that make $5,000 a month. There are people that make $0 a month. Is that okay, right? But I remember when I first joined the company, I bought my machine after seeing that demo. And all I would do is every weekend I'd have a demo at my house. That's all I did. I had a demo at my house. And my first demo, I had 5 people there. 3 people bought machines. I did the same thing the next week. And as you run through this compensation plan, you're going to see how powerful it is and the type of income that can be generated. So let me show you guys some numbers. Now again, how many people in this room have a machine? Raise your hand. That's pretty much everybody, right? So we can talk some real inside company talk here, right? Okay, great. So as you guys all know, there's no sign-up fee, no monthly qualifications, no stock loading, all that kind of stuff. The company pays daily. You get that already. Let me make sure I hit this the right way. Very good. So real quickly, for those of you that might need a refresher on this, right? You buy your machine, we're all 1As, okay? You come out, you sell a machine, let's say to Bob, and this is on the SD501, the commission is $285. So you sell a machine to Bob, you get $285, and as Bob goes out and sells machines, so on and so on, it goes down 8 points. Whoever sells a machine gets paid, but also you get paid. Is that okay? Other people's efforts, right? Same thing, your second sale, same thing happens. Okay, 8 points down. And on your third sale, you become what they call a 2A. You're just getting 2 times the amount on the same work. Right now, somebody buys a machine, your commission's $570. They go out and sell machines, they're gonna get their 1 point, but you're gonna get 2 points because they're in what I call your 2A lane. Okay, same work. Once you have those 10 direct sales in your business, you sell the next machine, you're getting 3 points. You're at 3A. Again, same thing. That person buys a machine, your commission's $855. They go out, sell a machine, they get their 1 point, you get the 3 point, which is $855, and it goes all the way down to 8 points. Once you've got the 20 sales in your group, again, same thing. You sell a machine to Mary. Mary buys a machine, because you're a 4A, you're getting 11 points, 11 times 285, 1140 for you, and it goes down the same way. It goes again, 50 sales in your group, you're a 5A, same thing, you sell a machine, you're getting 5 times your point because you're a 5A in this lane. Whatever comes in that lane, you're gonna get 5 points all the way down. When it gets down to 8, there's only 1 point left, you'll get the 1 point. And the last position in the company, as far as the rank goes, is 6A. Same exact work, just more money. Who in this room would rather earn 6 points on a sale over 1? Raise your hand, right? Same work, more money. So when I joined this company, in my first 90 days, I hit this position of 6A. 90 days. Now there are people, there's not many that have done it shorter than that, but some have, but most haven't. But the idea is, how did it get done? Because if you're here right now, you already have a machine, you want to know about business, and that's what business is about. Business is about making money. Fair enough? Okay? And there's nothing wrong with that. We already talked about that. So in my first 90 days, I became a 6A in the company. How do you do it? Right? There's no real secret, guys. When we first started with this company in New York, we just did meetings like this. That's all we did. Romy got involved in the company. Romy called up Joe Reed. Joe Reed called up Anna. Anna called up Tamia. Tamia called up me. And that's all we did. Every week we have in-homes, and then we do a monthly meeting once a month. And for the new people, again, because there are a lot of people in this room, a couple of people I see that have already hit some pretty significant positions. For the new people in the room, you've got to understand, when you're in a business, would you rather have explained to your business? You or the person that's already cutting the checks, that's already done it? The people have already done it, right? So when you have events like this, and like I said, I mean, we started meetings in Chicago. I did one of the first meetings ever in Trinidad. There were over 800 people. Myself and Tamia went there with Anna from Trinidad. Over 800 people. New York, same thing. This is Florida. I just moved here back in October. And I've been like, really like, I'm retired, right? So I don't do that much work, but whenever I do decide to engage, there ain't too many people can outdo me. There ain't too many people, because I'm just good at what I do. As I know a lot of you in this room are good at what you do as well. But I'm telling you right now, I've been here since October. This market right here is a gold mine. And if y'all don't want the money, it's okay. Because there's nobody in this room that I know of right now that's a part of my organization, which is cool because we do this for everybody, right? Brian does meetings in different parts of the country. Janice does meetings for different people in different parts of the country. It doesn't matter because we're all in the same team, the Enagic team. Does that make sense? That's right. Yeah. So I told Brian the other day, I said, listen, man, I'm here. Time to come out of retirement, just a little bit, but we can do some big things here in this area. Is that okay? We can help us all grow and make some money together. Funny part, I bought my machine for $4,000, my first machine. I bought the SD501. One machine. First meeting became a 2A. And I was very strategic because the great thing about this plan is even though there's 100 sales in your business to get the 6A position, which we all want to become 6As, you can skip those positions. And a lot of you might be saying to yourself, you're not a salesman. I'm not good at that kind of stuff. It doesn't matter because it's not about you. You might not be that person. You might be the person that knows the person that might know the person. Because with this comp plan, if you go out and recruit a Michael Jordan and a Tiger Woods, and they go out and blow this thing up, and they reach 100 sales, by default on your next sale, you become a 6A. And I strategically did it. When I hit 6A in my first 3 months in this company, I had only sold exactly 5 machines. I had it laid out. I had people waiting to buy machines. I'd bring them in, they're ready for a machine. I never forget, one of my 6A2, she almost 6A3, Leontine. I had already had my 3A done. I was waiting to get the 4A. I had about 18 sales in my business. She came to a meeting. I called her up on the phone and said, Leontine, you just got to come see this thing. What is it? Well, just come meet me at this, wherever we were having a meeting at. She comes in, sees the same demo. It wasn't even half as good as Brian's demo. Let me tell you something. You guys got Brian doing demos for you? You are absolutely crazy if you don't put people in front of this guy. Anyway, she comes to the meeting. She wants to buy a machine that night. I said, listen, hold on for a minute. She couldn't buy her machine until I got 2 more sales because I wanted to put her into my 4A lane. It happened in a couple of days though, but I had to get those 2 sales in because I'm just being strategic with it. Does that make sense? So the plan was just amazing. But here's the funny part. Bought the machine for $4,000, and I have paperwork, documentation always beats compensation. I always keep my reports with me. I'm not going to pull them out now, but in my first 30 days in the company, I made just over $5,000. In my first 6 months in this company, I made over $95,000. In my first 12 months, I made over $232,000 part-time. And I've never made less. Who here would like to make that kind of money part-time? Who would like to make it full-time? Right? Full-time is okay, right? But that's the power of this compensation plan when you understand it. Because when you get excited about something, you want to learn it, you just go for it. And that's what this type of a compensation plan can do. So let's run through this real quick. So we've got the application, you guys have seen all that kind of stuff. I don't know how much you guys know about these other positions. I don't really want to get too much into it, but understand that there's other positions you'll hit. When you hit 6A, that's great position, but then you want to start moving through the ranks where you have monthly bonuses, You hit 6A2 basically means you become a 6A and you've got 2 6As under you. It's pretty simple, right? And if you want to go past that, just more bonuses that add. Again, I'm going to skip this because I'd rather do just a little bit of training, but good looking guy up there, Brian, you hit your 6A2, there's 2 bonus, you get $12,000. Nice check. 6A23, that's the position on that. You got 2 6A2s under you, which comes with a nice check. 5,000. No, that's $25,000 check. But anyway, there's a bunch of 6A23. You see it there. $25,000 check, $5,000 a month. It's like a retirement plan. You know, I worked with the police department for 24 years. I've had a very nice pension, but it took me 24 years to get that pension. Basically, with hitting this position in my first 3.5 years in the company, I've matched my pension. So what took me 24 years to do with the police department, I was able to do in this company in 3 years. And remember, I built it part-time. Can you all say part-time?
Part-time.
Right? Again, I told you guys before, there are people in this company that make a lot more money than me. But guess what? They work a lot harder than me. Is that okay?
Yeah.
There are people in this room right now that can make a lot more money than me, but you'll have to outwork me, which is okay as well, because that's the way it works, and I think it's fair, right? You outwork the person, you make more money. There are people that I can bring into this business that can make more money than me. Now, I'll do okay because they're in my group, but they can still out-earn me, which is fair. There's nothing wrong with that. And that's just the power of what's going on. And we've seen, all of us, Janet, Brian, we know people that have hit these positions. They're out there. And a lot of us built this when we didn't have what we have now. I didn't want you guys to know about the presentations we used to have. If you've seen that stuff, you'd be like, oh my God, who put this stuff together? And then the internet. You guys want to build a business. The internet, now that we know what the political atmosphere is now, I don't get into politics, but we know there's a lot of fake news out there. I can't tell you how many times people would come to a nice presentation, bring their people out, and the people are really excited, ready to buy a machine, and they get a phone call about, oh, you know, I went on the internet and I've seen this. Guys, you've got to pre-warn your people because there's fake news out there everywhere. And you'll read it and believe it. But when you warn people, I tell you, what we've got going right now and the way the company is growing, I think it's better, or should I say easier to succeed in this business now than it was 13 years ago. There's never been competition with our product. There were a couple other companies that, quote unquote, have the water ionizer machines, and most of them were buying the machines over in Korea, put their own cover on them, and then saying kangen water, right? You go on the internet, everything's about kangen water. Easy to get over that kind of stuff, because it's out there, but it's easy to do. Most of those companies aren't even around right now, and they still talk about kangen water. Why? Because this company is the gold standard. We are the gold standard when it comes to the water ionization industry. And like I said, outside of oxygen, there's nothing more important than water for your body. Does that make sense? But, so, I don't know how much more is on the slide with the presentation. These are just more positions, guys, and no reason to confuse you, but just understand that they're out there, they're waiting. And it only takes really in this company. I know you guys know Romy. And I'm gonna tell you right now, Romy's a great guy. But you know what Romy's real claim to fame was? His #1 claim to fame was going out and finding some other network workers. Other people that are in business, right? And he's a hard worker, but when you go out and you can recruit, and you don't need everybody, but if you go out and find 4 serious people in this company, 4, just 4, you can literally write your own paycheck. And they're out there. There are more Brians out there. There are more Willies out there. Janice, plenty more people out there.
One day you can get my name right.
I always
Janine.
I always call her Janet from day one. I don't know why. I think I had an ex-girlfriend looked like her way back when. I was just hoping she'd come back. But yeah, I mean, just what's on the table here with the company and what we can all achieve together as a group. It's just really, it's really unbelievable. But speaking of Janet in the room here. Janine, why do I, oh God.
Another girlfriend, right? Just say Janet.
I've only had one, but I know Janet Selly though. Hey, why don't you come to the front of the room? I mean, you've done some amazing things. I've watched you, yes, please. I've watched you. I've watched this young lady, and you ever been one of those people where you person, and for whatever reason, I've got a very easy name, Willie. Everybody just remembers Willie. It's probably the bald head and everything, right? But I've met so many people in this company over the years, and this young lady, out of the blue, I mean, she's just always there. And always Willie with a smile, and I call her Janet, Janice, Jeanette, whatever it is, but she knows I'm talking to her. But she's just got an amazing story, and you truly, to me, and I've never told you this, but you have got to be one of the hardest, most dedicated people that I've ever met in this company. That's from me to you, whether I remember your name or not.
Thank you.
But would you just give a couple words of what this company's done for you, and give her a round of applause, guys.
Well, I'm honored to have you. I won't talk long because I don't want to take away time from Willie to come all the way down here. Okay. Well, when I first found out, I've been knowing about this water for over 25 years, and never wanted to try it because I didn't like water. And so I had a very close friend of mine in California. I had uterine cancer, and it was very glam looking, and I'm not going to go into any medical details, but he forced me to try the water. And I didn't want to, and I actually poured it down the drain every day that he gave it to me. And finally, after a few days, he said, "You're not feeling better, you're not looking better, you're not drinking my water." So he started standing in front of me to make me drink the water. And so I did, and I started feeling a little better, but I still knew that I felt my days were numbered. And so I came back to North Carolina, and he said, "You want to buy a machine?" And I said, "No." And I said, "What's the purpose? I'm not going to be around much longer. Why spend the money?" And so he ended up, got on a plane and flew to North Carolina and brought me an SD501 and said, "Here, this is for you. I know it will help you." And so the only reason I agreed to take it was because I told people, I said, "Well, when I'm gone, make sure you get the machine back, okay? Because I don't want a $4,000 gift to just sitting around, whatever." He was so nice to do this. So 6 months later, I found out that I didn't have cancer anymore, and I didn't do anything about it. Woo! So, but anyway, I was drinking 2 gallons a day of it, and it was an amazing product. So I ended up buying the device, but I didn't want to do the business because I said, I'm busy and I don't have the time, and I got other businesses and things going on. And so he said, "Okay, well, just send me the people." So after 6 months, he called me up. He said, "Do you know how much money that I've made from you sending people to me?" And I said, "What, a couple grand?" And he said, $60,000. And I was like, "From what?" He said, "All the people you sent me, I sold them a machine." I said, "Well, how can I make money like that?" And he said, "Stop giving him my phone number. You do it. You give the water." So I thought, okay. So I spent a whole year giving out thousands of gallons of water away, and I wasn't selling any devices. And I couldn't understand why, because I'm a great salesperson. And so I decided to go to Okinawa and find out what they were teaching and what they were doing. And got there, and they said to me, "The problem is you're trying to sell an ionizer, and we don't want you to do that." And I said, "What do you want me to do?" And they said, "Just give water, take mouth, walk away." And I said, "Yeah, but when do you ask for the sale?" And they said, "You don't. You give water, take mouth, walk away." And I said, "Well, I got to make a sale. How do I make a sale? I'm asking, people to buy." And they said, "You don't do that. The water will speak for itself." So they challenged me to come back and speak to 30 people. The last 30 people that I gave water to that said, "Can't do it, don't like it, can't afford it, don't want the debt." And I did, and I sold 20 machines in a week, about less than 2 weeks, to those same people that told me before. So then I realized how it was done. And so at the time when I got involved, I was massively in debt. I had $100,000 in credit card debt. My house was in foreclosure. I had 2 car payments that were always late, and I was, drowning in debt. And I wasn't happy because I wasn't traveling. I wasn't doing anything fun. I didn't have a lot of friends. I was cancer free, but my life was it was a mess. And so fast forward, within 18 months, all my credit cards were paid off. I had a few more that had gotten up because I got cancer again, diagnosed with breast cancer in 2017. But I was just like paying off my bills. I paid off my 2 cars. I bought a 3rd car, which I keep out in LA when I go to visit. I'm traveling all over the world. You guys know I'm all over the place. London and France and Italy. I'm going to all the grand openings of our offices, and I've got all these friends, and it was just amazing. So when I got diagnosed with breast cancer in 2017, I was scheduled for a double mastectomy. The doctor said to do it, and I said okay. And then I had a weekly call at the time, and I was on the call, and a friend had told me to talk about my cancer. So I didn't want to, but they said, "Well, you should, because you might be able to touch a life." So I'm all about trying to help people. So I did, and I had over 500 people that were on that call, and the playback with Enagic that contacted me and said, do not do the surgery, do not do the chemo, do not do the radiation, go for alternative treatments, because they're out there. Go to California, research it. So I did, and I ended up going from stage 1 to stage 2, back to stage 1, and then I was told that it was spreading to my lymph nodes, and so then I went to Mexico, and 21 days in Mexico, cancer-free, totally. No surgery, no chemo, and radiation. And so I thank God for all of that, but I also thank God for bringing Enagic into my life, because in addition to getting me debt-free and giving me a family of friends and people that care about me and love me and being healthy and being able to share with people, I've always been a sharer and a giver. I've always wanted to help people. And I've never worked for a company that allowed me to help people, because either the price was too high, the company wasn't great, the products weren't great, or they were for a while, but then they got too expensive, and there was just always something that was holding me back. I couldn't help all the people that I wanted to help. And this company has literally enabled me to help hundreds and thousands of people, whether it be by selling the device, or talking to them, sharing with them my story, forcing them to drink the water, because I'm a forcer, I'm a pusher. I had a situation, Robin Williams, the comedian, was a close friend of mine, and after he died, I always felt responsible that he might have been around longer if I'd only told him about kangen water, and I never did. So after that happened, I promised his wife that from now on, I'm going to share with people no matter what, and I'm going to force them to try my water, because I know it works. So I'm aggressive, and I'm pushy, and I don't take no for an answer, and I keep pushing myself and my water and my ukon on you until you either say, I'm going to get it, I'm going to buy it, or get out of my face, I never want to see you again. And so some people don't like that approach, but I feel like it's my duty to share people, because we know everybody here has a device. You know that the products work. You know that the company pays. Has anybody ever not gotten a check they were owed, or gotten a bad check, or been told to hold your check? Nobody. And so I've been in 22 multi-level marketing companies, and none of them ever gave me half of what this company's given me. So if you're seasoned in this company and you've been around, you already know what I'm saying is true. If you're new and you're either a 1A or a 2A, never say only, because it takes 1A and 2A and 3A to get to 6A. Stay positive, keep sharing, because the company's around for a long, long time, and we've got a great thing going, and you've already purchased your device. You don't have to worry about buying another device. You've got your device, so you have a gold mine in your home, and if you have a gold mine in your heart and want to help people, this company can enable you to do it. So thank you for letting me speak.
Hey, Ted. Ted in the back.
Yeah, Ted, that's right, my man Ted.
Mr. Ted Delarusso, excuse me.
Come on up. I saw this gentleman. I came here and snuck in a meeting a couple of weeks ago just to hear this guy talk. What an amazing presenter here as well.
Ted, what's your title now? 6A, what?
3-2. 3-2.
3-2. Yes.
Awesome. I'm Ted Delarusso. What do you call it? I'm actually a real estate broker and a mortgage broker when I started this. Everybody knows Romy Bernard. We are partners when I opened up my real estate office in Jersey. He's from Jersey and everything. He partnered with me, opened up a good real estate office. You know, we make good money. But you don't have. Everybody has a dream, right? Everybody wants to make $1 million. Everybody wants to make $1 million.
10 million.
10 million, good. So that's our dream when we did. Apparently, but in 92, the market died. He went to Chicago, I went to Florida, and one of our friends also, JB, he moved to California. Fast forward 2004, JB found this business, Enagic, and he was trying to get in touch with us. And he can't find me. Good thing Romy went back to Staten Island, and he found Romy. And JB flew to New York, did a demo, and tried to convince Romy, and apparently the real estate market at the time was booming. Everybody was making money, so Romy gave him water, dumped it in the trash, didn't do nothing. 2006, 2 years later, again, the economy was now going down, right? Real estate market is still good. The hospital where Romy's wife works closed down. That was January of 2006. JP again called Romy. Romy, go to California, Long Beach. And that's where Romy saw Miss Ishi making $100,000 a month. And he says, I want to be Miss Ishi. He went back to New York and called me, Ted, and says, with just your credit card, we bought a machine and did the business. I don't want to do the business. But I think I was going to the Philippines in May 2006. And Lori said, I called him, Ted, I need your credit card and I need your driver's license. At the time they want driver's license. We're going to be a millionaire doing business. Just bear with me. I'm going to the Philippines, says, do it, just give it to it. We'll talk when I come back in June. By the time I come back in June, I got one person under me and that's it. I don't want to do the business. The second year, another person come in. By my third sale in 2008, see, 1 year, 2006, 2007, 2008. 2008, my first real sale, I was 5A. 2008 also, my fourth sale, I was 6A. It's how I developed. Actually, I was the one setting up meetings for Romy here in Florida. That's how I would set up a meeting, but I don't want to do the business. Everybody was here, we were doing it at the Florida Mall. Yeah. I set up the business for Romy and I don't want to do the business. Figured it out, right? He started ahead of me actually because I was making money. I thought, I made six-figure income. I have two companies. A mortgage company, which brings me good money, and a real estate company. But I didn't realize how, by 2009, Roby was about to make his first $1 million a year in 3 years. And I was like, oh my goodness, I'm in the wrong business. So 2010, I closed my mortgage company, 2012, my real estate company, and I started this full time. And because it's a challenge, it's transitioning from a salesperson to a networker, right? He's a network marketer, he's a network marketer. For me, I'm a marketing guy with a different thing. That's why it took me a while, establishing learning. That's why I'm here. Why am I here, right? Wants to learn from this guy, from her, from him. It's learning. I go anywhere. I travel the world to just listen to people talk about this business, and people forget one nugget of things that you learn from this meeting would make you a millionaire. See, Romy's been trying to push me, but the thing is I didn't find it until 2009, right? It's because what? My daughter we were traveling from the Philippines, Hong Kong, to California, then back to here in Florida. All of a sudden my daughter got E. coli. And we don't know what happened to her. By the time we went back to Florida, she got sepsis, lost one of her kidney. And I remember Romy says, just give her the water. Give her the water that I know it saves her life. And that's what brings me to this one. That's when I started trying to, what is this kangen water? And it makes a big difference when you learn about this. But the thing is going to this meeting, meeting this guy is it's a little failure, right? That's why I'm here learning, and as much as you can, find anybody, any meeting that you can afford to go to. I challenge you to learn something about this business. And no matter what, you're gonna find success no matter what, just by learning about this business. Thank you for your time.
You're welcome. Thank you. Charles and Francis. Charles and Francis, would you like to share a little bit real quick?
I want to share a little bit.
All right. Charles Shea from Maitland, right?
Maitland, Florida.
Maitland, Florida.
Well, we got started in this 10 years ago, and Actually, we found out about it, and it was just amazing. Within 6 months, we hit the 6A level simply by sharing, which went to our holistic practitioner. And we've been seeing at that time for almost 20 years. And she took this and she said, wow. She checked it out real quick, and very quickly she started sharing it with some of her patients and started getting some amazing results. I'm 76, I don't take any meds, so it's been a blessing for us. I've had 2 total hip replacements, and it's just, you know, gives you the health and the vitality that you need. And when you share it genuinely with other people and you've got the passion that these folks have been talking about, then good things happen. So we've been very blessed to have it, and we thank you for the time.
Thank you.
Wow, wow. Well, I tell you, there's a lot of power right here in this room, but I know we're going to do a bit of a training a little bit.
Yes, we are. We're going to do a little bit of training. We're going to take a quick break. You know, before I want to go break, I want to take a quick selfie of Willie and myself here. Come on, Willie, let's get in this. I want everyone to raise your hands in the background if y'all would. All right. Let's see. Let's switch this here. Here we go. One more time.